Now this is something that's a little different. This is a demand letter that I did in her case. We went to a mediation, and this was the demand letter. This is a digital demand letter, and we didn't send them anything. We didn't send them any medical records. We didn't send them anything. We have everything on a DVD. So we sent them one DVD, and this is what's on it. First of all, you point and click here in the demand letter, and you see the day in the life video, which I just showed you. Then we go into a discussion about all of her medical background, all the problems that she had, and then we get, this is all various, now these are her injuries, each one of her injuries discussed in detail. Then when we get down here, you point and click here in the demand letter, and it plays, excuse me, it plays the graphic that shows you exactly what happened to her, the arterial stroke, and what happened in her brain that caused her injury. So, and then the other thing that we have, I'm going to stop that for a minute because I want to show you something else. Then we're back in the letter. Then we get down to here. Now we show the brain slicer, and this is her. You see this is her CT. Okay. Now we can control the skin opacity. We can do it like this, back it down to wherever we need to be, whatever we want to show. But here, we click here and it starts cutting away. Now, all CAT scans and MRIs are read as if you're on the floor looking up at them. So that's the right-hand side is on the CAT scan itself. But what we've done here is, you see, we've added color and we've added we've added the labels to these. But then you go deeper and deeper into the skull, and this is what you see. She's into the brain, and you can see the depth of the injury. But then we have the same thing here. Now what we've done here, since we did those first ones I showed you, is we've added color and labeling to the CAT scan itself. So this is her CAT scan, and so it shows it's very graphic illustration of the nature and extent of her injury. Then as we move through the demand letter, we get down to, we have an index here. This is our demand, and then we have an index here that takes you anywhere you want to go within the letter. Just point and click and it'll take you there. And then when you get to the bottom, these are all 29 of the particular group of women that we were representing in this case. So what we can do here is, if we point and click on Lisa Hamlin, for example, now this will take you from this letter into Lisa Hamlin's letter, and you do the same thing all over with her. And then here at the bottom, when we get down to the bottom, we have all of the graphics, and this is all still in the demand letter, but we have all 15 of the graphics within the demand letter. So I think the impression that we try to leave is that this is, we're ready for trial. If you want to beat me to death with money, fine. But if you don't, we're ready to go to the courthouse. And I think we leave that impression when we make a presentation like this. I want to show you what some focus group people and some real jurors who were debriefed were asked a bunch of questions by forensic psychologists, and they stated that the type of graphic which they found to be most useful was the timeline. And the value of the timeline is context. We throw evidence at them, and we throw evidence at them, and we throw evidence at them, but if you've got a very, very good, powerful, effective timeline, the timeline helps you show where, in the big picture, this piece of evidence fits. And remember, I'm not saying, they didn't say it was the most persuasive. They said it was the most helpful to them, which is helping them to be persuaded. So what we did in the timeline is this. this is a medical malpractice case that we tried in Dallas 2 years ago, I guess. And what we're showing, as you can see down here, excuse me, this is the actual medical record. So every time we light up this part of it, it shows over here exactly what you're seeing in the medical record. So it's in front of everybody at the same time, but it's also highlighted. And actually, if we scroll down, it also says at the bottom exactly what that says. So you have pupils reactive. So as you work your way through this, now when we tried this case, we had a screen this size, which was directly across from the jury box. And we managed to keep this timeline up. We always had some reason to have this timeline up. And we tried this whole case within the context of the timeline. Now let me tell you the beauty of this. This was created by these gentlemen here in the OnPoint, RacePoint, and they've been doing my work for a long time. They created this timeline. But here's what we can do. This is really interesting. We don't have this in the courtroom. It's on the hard drive of my computer, obviously, and it's on the backup, obviously. But this is posted. This is stored up on the internet. So if I'm in trial in Dallas, which I was, and they have a brand new shiny courtroom in Dallas. And I was on the internet. I had an internet connection in the courtroom. So I'm on the internet. I can do emails, everything right there during the trial. And what you have the capability of doing is, with this timeline, let's say there's a witness on the stand and there's some testimony, and I realize, okay, I need to add something to the timeline. I can send these guys an email that says, add the following to the timeline at this location. They pull it down off the internet. They add it in Houston, at the office in Houston. They add it to the timeline. They put it back up. They send me an email, said, okay, it's ready. Boom, I put it back up. It's back up on the screen, up on the wall in front of the jury, and it's got the addition. This is on the fly. I mean, this is graphics on the fly. And it's all done by virtue of it being, all these are posted on the web to be seen. Now, what we were trying to do in this trial is we were trying to show the passage of time. This was a woman who went into the hospital, and we're trying to show the passage of time. She didn't get the proper care she needed when she got into the emergency room. So now we do a color change here, and this starts that from the time the color change indicates the period of time that the doctor is not to be found anywhere in the record, and no evidence that the doctor, he saw her when she came in, no evidence for an hour and 18 minutes that she's in the emergency room not being cared for, no record of the doctor, no testimony from any nurse or anyone else saying the doctor was there. So to illustrate that, we changed the color on this, and as we go through this becomes more and more important. We can still pull down everything. We do this. Now we want to get here from 3 o'clock on. We want to show the passage of time. So the passage of time. Okay, that's 4 o'clock, and then finally at 4:10 you got an exploratory laparotomy, and then we show on and on and on 5 o'clock and almost 6 o'clock before she gets to ICU. Well, the woman died because she didn't receive the medical care that she needed timely. The timeline is a powerful, powerful tool, and it's one that I strongly recommend to be used sparingly, but to be used very effectively.